good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sơn. I'm the group leader today, and our group has Hai Anh, Tu, and Chi. Today we will talk about the critical analysis of the article and examination of auditor independent issues from the perspective of UK financial director. And first is our overview from Hai Anh.
Good afternoon. Now I will talk about my overview about this article. So after reading this, I recognize that the fundamental purpose of this article is how to maintain or even develop the quantity of UK auditor and what factors affect the professional in auditor in general. So in this paper, 3 research questions have been raised up by the author. The first one is, should non-audit services be prohibited? The second one is, should the rotation of auditor be compulsory between 5 and 12 years? And the last one is, should the development of auditing standard be distinguished from the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales? So, in the data collected content, 7 tables were presented in order to support the research question. The first table shows the financial director opinion on the agreement, which brought by the Chartered Accountant of England and Wales. The second table shows the financial opinion on the 6 basic statement, and the rest table shows the relationship between the auditor and their financial director, which is identified by three variable: rotate, review, and no. And both authors analyzed the figure and found several interesting details to support the research question. The result of the paper showed that the quantity and the value of the auditor were influenced by the recognition of the financial auditor about the prohibition of non-audit work and the rotation of auditor. And also, financial director agree that accountability for the auditing outline should be distinguished from the accounting field. And two more specific, Sơn and Tu will talk about the strength and weakness about this article.
Okay, so after reading this article, I found that 2 of the strongest strengths of this article. First is about the focus on the perspective of financial director. Before this research was made, there's hardly to find any article related to the financial director about this situation, auditor independence, because they tend to focus about the cost, the solution, and the reason why it's hard for the auditor from independence. So this is the plus point for two authors to focus on the perspective of the financial director. Moreover, the financial director has the power to approve or dismissal of an auditor from their position. Next is about the simple and straightforward questionnaire. Two authors have read a lot of research, about 49 in their reference list, and from that they combined with the interview with some combined with some people had experience in the field. They conduct a question that have 10 questions to rate from the scale 1 to 5 to show the disagree or agree of the article of the situation, and so it's very simple and easy to understand question. They also take an internal consistent test to making sure that everybody understands the question. Next is about the weakness. First, this article has been published in 2001 and now it's 2018, so it's been a long time ago, and the value of information they bring might not be the same as it was in 2001. And in 17 years, there has been a lot of published to protect the auditor independent. Like in 2010, EACEW have been published a law called the International Regulation to protect the auditor from independent, and in 2003 they republished again to fix the law, and that's why it might not bring the same value as this one. And next is about the small sample size. They only have 776 usable participants, usable respondents to reach the conclusion of this research, and it's very small compared with the firm in the UK. There has been an official number of how many firms in the UK, but I found out in an article. I found in an article that has just only small and medium business. There's about 5.7 million firms in working in this area, and we assume that each firm has one financial director. So 776 compared with 5.7 million is very small number. And also the way they collect the answer is they sending the mail to the financial director. So it will skip the people who might want to also take part in the research. Next is the unclear conclusion. In the research, I found out that the questionnaire I found out that mostly is the rate from 1 to 5. There's no question about asking the opinion from the financial director. So mostly the conclusion is two authors have from their point of view, and so it's hard to understand what the point of view what the perspective from the financial director. And one more thing, what noticeable that in the research part there's 14 times that use the word "may" to show the uncertain conclusion of them. And next is we talk more about strengths and weaknesses.
So these are two strengths and three weaknesses that I found in the research. The first strength is that the research has high ecological validity. So because the researchers sent questionnaire through emails to 3,000 finance directors, so this could help affect the ecological validity. The essence of this validity is that to limit the testing environment to affect the results. So the researchers did it really well in this. The second strength of this research is that the instrumentation threats were minimized because the researchers conducted the internal consistency test in order to ensure that the participants had clearly understood and the questionnaires and answered them in a consistent manner. So here are three weaknesses which affected the internal and the external validity of the research. First is the history of the finance directors' organization, and also the size of their enterprises mattered, but had not been mentioned in their research. So about the history. So if an organization has received a very good financial records for a long period of time, perhaps the attitude of finance directors from those organizations could be different from those companies that had received poor financial records. Yes, so this could affect the internal validity, but were not tackled by the researchers. The second weakness is about the size of the enterprises. So enterprises are classified into small and medium-sized enterprises and large enterprises. So the difference between business size could affect the results, but also not addressed in the research. And the last weakness is about the sample. So the researchers chose 3,000 named finance directors. So the sample was not random. So that could affect the results. So it could not be generalizable beyond the 776 respondents. So that's all. So Chi will talk about compare and contrast to two other relevant articles.
The person who compare and contrast the article to others is article. The first one is the provision of the service by auditor independence. The second one is the effect of culture on the independent auditor opinions, a study around the Iranian auditor markets. When I read all this article, I find out that all the articles are written about the auditor independence. They also to listing is collecting and analysis is the factor and the causes, and to if is related to this topic, and so they are given some solutions to deal with this problem. And the next slide I will compare this the first article, and as other members said before, this only had the 776 respondents to a merit questionnaire sent to 300 is UK financial director. In the contrast, in the second article is the author gathered around more than 200 is respondent to over total is 200 in 1994 respondent. We say that it the less is quantity of respondent need is the less in the I think is the value the level of explanation is, and obviously we can see that the second article has a high quality of respondent than is the first one. And it's about the second article. I will talk about the result of the R-square, and we say that in when the analysis is in the pie chart, and especially in the table 5, in the result of the R-square are extremely low. That's mainly under is 20,000 is like it's a 6.3 is a 60%, and so the height is 19%. And however, in the another one is the result is pretty high, and this between the 14 and the 15%. You can see that if when you have a higher is the result is R-square is more is pretty higher. This result and the conclusion of this article is more convincing. And as we say that the less of the rate of R-square is, it also linked to is the less of the levels of the explanation is of the analysis articles. As we say that this article also have its strengths and social weakness. And I think they should also to improve their diversity and also to develop their good part, and to in the next article also make their quality of their article be more better. Also to also to convincing the reader in the next article. This is our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.